You know what's going on? This your boy CJ Goodfellas. Shout out to the LDBC. One time for the one time. Shout out to everybody for subscribing, liking, disliking, bad comments, good comments, anything in between. No, some promo better than no promo. And let's enter that real boxing clinic talk. You dig? And we talking about Canelo Alvarez, according to Boxing Scene. I'm gonna link the article in the description like I usually do. Is only electing to fight for the IBF Middleweight Title and the WBA Middleweight Title. And we're going to tell you the significance of one belt. And it's going to be a good fight versus Golovkin. Golovkin is not going to have his WBC belt on the line for this fight. Canelo actually declined the fake WBC belt they made for Chavez Jr., the Mexican belt. And he's mad at the WBC for the simple fact that they tried to force negotiations with him and Golovkin last year. They tried to, force the split, what split he was going to get, and the weight, and they tried to make him negotiate with Triple G, gave him a 15-day period, or he had to drop the belt, so he decided to drop the belt, And, for him, it was his prerogative. He explained why. When Billy Joe Saunders asked him during the press conference with Triple G kicking it off, he said he dropped the belt because he was in a lawsuit with All-Star Boxing, and Golden Boy. He said it was allowed on his plate to, deal with that lawsuit and deal with negotiating a big fight of that magnitude. So he decided to drop the belt, and he lost that lawsuit. I think, he was ordered to pay $20 million back to All-Star Boxing for breaking the pact, running off on the plug and signing with Golden Boy. Golden Boy was also involved in the lawsuit, if you wonder why they just couldn't negotiate while Canelo was in court. So that's what he said, and, he's still mad at the WBC. Didn't accept the Chavez Jr. fake belt he made for the Chavez Jr. and Canelo fight. It's funny because the WBC has done a lot for Canelo, but I guess Canelo feels like they turned his back on him. And as far as what I mean is they helped him get his first belt at 154 pounds at a 150 versus Matthew Macklin. They let him fight for the WBC middleweight belt versus Amir Khan. I think he had his belt when he fought Josito Lopez. They sanctioned a lot of fights that shouldn't be sanctioned for Canelo Alvarez. And I know he feels slighted, and hopefully they can mend that relationship with him being the biggest Mexican star in the world and them being the most, represented Mexican belt, WBC, with Mauricio Suleiman Jr. taking on from Mauricio Suleiman Sr., who passed away not too long ago. Hopefully they can mend that relationship, but if not, it is what it is. So Canelo's going to continue to fight just for the WBA and the IBF, and a lot of people are already talking about, him potentially ducking Charlo again in some people's mind. I talked about that earlier. I didn't think he ducked him in, and if he's a big enough fight, he might continue to duck him. I don't know, but Charlo's not ranked in the WBA, but he is ranked in the IBF. We talked about this in another video, I believe, or did I go live and talk about it? Can't remember. It was quite a time ago. But Jamal is ranked number 3. And in the IBF, if you're wondering if Canelo does win or whatever happens, Torian Johnson is fighting Andre Wazir's Eastern European guy. I forget his name. I think it's the IBF title eliminator for the mandatory, whoever holds that belt next. So, then, after that fallout, Jamal Charlo beats Healy and continues to win. He'll be the number 1 mandatory to the IBF belt. But the significant thing about Canelo fighting for the IBF belt, and electing to fight for the IBF belt, is the simple fact that he can't rehydrate more than 10 pounds, after the weigh-in until the next morning. It's a next day weigh-in for the IBF title, anything except for heavyweight. So he'll weigh in that Friday, and then Monday he will have a second weigh-in in the morning. He can't rehydrate more than 10 pounds. This rule really became famous when Danny Jacobs did not elect to fight for the IBF title and packed on more than 10 pounds to be able to absorb Triple G's power. And Canelo is said to be a guy who walks around at 180, almost to 190. Some people exaggerate the 190. And it seems like he won't rehydrate higher than 170 the morning after. So he might come in the mid-170s for the Golovkin fight. And that could be a sign for some of you betting guys. For the simple fact that maybe Triple G won't have enough weight on him like Danny Jacobs did to absorb all that power Triple G has coming with him, Or maybe it's a sign that he wants to come in lighter and try to be quicker and try to box Triple G. You read into it what you want to read into it. But I thought Canelo will be the guy that want to come in with the bigger, size advantage, so I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to elect to fight for the IBF title. So I guess it's not an issue. I guess he looks to be a little bit lighter in his middleweight debut, because it's technically his full fed-edge 160-pound debut. The Cotto and other fights were 155 or whatever the fuck they were, and the Chavez Jr. fight was 164.5, so that was technically super middleweight. But this is his first fight at regular 160, and I'm curious to see how he looks. He looks slim, trim. He looks ripped right now. His back is ripped up, and that's a sign of a good, strong gentleman. But it shocked me that he chose to fight for the IBF. It's not shocking that he feels slighted by the WBC. I went over this before. The WBC has done a lot for Canelo, and they have one bad little rap where you got your title, you got a chance to fight for your title back. And I know he took a lot of backlash for dropping the title, especially after Oscar talked shit about on Counter Punch, the Netflix documentary. Go see it if you haven't. Exclusive Netflix, about not dropping your title, but he got a chance to redeem himself and beat Triple G, and hopefully he can get the job done.